It's you again. It's me again. Wait a minute. Yeah, anyway. So, I did a thing on my take on the Mueller report yesterday, which is basically was what it is about how that whole thing went down. But like anything else, like a lot of other people, or maybe not, maybe just because of my stupidity, sometimes I act before I think. And I'm always better. I'm never good with the little quippy comebacks, you know, and stuff like that. I have to think about it, and then like 4 hours later, I'm like, oh, I should have said that in that argument. But my mind does work pretty good, and once I think about it, I can usually come up with something pretty good. If you want to see how good that is, go back and look at my video of why Christine Blasey Ford isn't credible. And if you want to know how good I am, look at that video and look at the date. And then you go forward a little bit, and Susan Collins, I believe, the senator who was on the fence, quote unquote, and then she came out and she gave like a 45-minute speech, and then gave her decision. Her decision was that she's voting for Kavanaugh's confirmation because of what she outlined in her 45-minute speech about Dr. Ford. And my thought process was she must have watched my video, because not only did she say almost the exact same thing I did after I analyzed all of it, she even almost put it in the exact same order. And that video did get a few views, but seriously, if you watch both my video then her speech, it's laid out almost the exact same and almost in the exact order, because I can usually think about things come up pretty good. So let's think about the three big lies, which two of them we can point to now, and one of them I'm going to explain in a minute, could be a lie. It's all entertainment. This is a YouTube channel. But I think probably will come out as a lie, may come out as a lie, may not be a lie. I'm not going to say with respect that it is an absolute lie. I'm just, and if it was, it's going to come out. So let's talk about the first two. Number one, and this is a point I made yesterday, Mueller came out and said if he was certain Trump would have committed no crime, he would have come out and said so. Mueller is a special prosecutor. He wasn't doing the job as an FBI investigator. He was a prosecutor. His report should have been based on the actions of the average prosecutor. So the problem there is, and the lie there is, that saying so, Trump, anybody in America, because we're not a fascist country, every single person's natural state is innocent. You're not assumed guilty of anything until you're proven guilty, and you don't have to prove your innocence. Therefore, by not charging him with the crime and not proving he had a crime, he did prove him innocent, or at least left him in his natural state of innocent. So, and in regards to him saying that he had to say that he would have made a statement of him innocent, he did by not charging him with the crime. Prosecutors either charge with the crime or don't charge with the crime. And it's not to say, you know, you can sit there all day long and say, well, sometimes the government's sure you have a crime, but don't think they can prove it, so they don't, but you still commit a crime. Well, in this country, if you're not proven to have committed a crime, you're innocent until proven guilty. Not innocent, we think you're guilty, so we're going to act like you're guilty. You're innocent until proven guilty. So by not proving him guilty, he did leave him as the natural state of innocent. Lie number two. He said in his statement that he counterbalanced 2 points in that part of the Russian collusion. No American can be charged. We did not have sufficient evidence to charge any American collusion. That would include the President of the United States. If we would have found evidence that he was not guilty, then there. The problem with that is, he said no American had enough evidence to charge with a crime. That includes the President of the United States. So he made that determination. He came to a determination that the President of the United States, and there's 4 or 5 statements in it, and Barr, basically when he did his press conference, quoted Mueller on that point. That wasn't Barr's statement, he was quoting Mueller. Then Mueller turned around and said, on the obstruction of justice thing, well, because of the Justice Department's standing policy, I couldn't make a determination on whether or not he obstructed justice. But you felt like you could make a determination on whether or not he colluded. Aha! So you just lied. It's not, you don't think it's that policy enough to have made that determination on collusion. So you counteracted yourself there. You made that determination. You did make that determination at one point. Now, you might not be able to charge somebody, but as a prosecutor, and if you're going to make a report that basically says, I can make that determination on any point, or can't make that determination on any point, you can make, or basically what he said was, well, if I can't put them on trial, it's not fair to make that determination. That's irrelevant and false. You can make that determination if that report is going to the Senate, the House, and let them do the adjudication of it. You said so yourself, the mechanism for holding a president responsible, and you said yourself, is other than the judicial system. But you also said yourself that the Constitution and the law does give leeway to investigate the president. If you're not going to come to determination of the investigation was useless, if you come to determination but you can't charge him, but somebody else can adjudicate it, you can still come to determination and say, these are my findings. What you did was you deferred that judgment per se, or that determination about the adjudication to the Attorney General, who made that decision. You left it to him, then you weren't happy with the decision he made, but you can't make the decision yourself, or you said you couldn't come to that decision. So that's kind of a juxtaposition within itself as well. If you leave it to somebody else to make the decision because you refuse to, don't get mad about their decision, which is obviously what happened. Secondly, you felt like, yeah, I can make that decision on collusion, so apparently that wasn't the case. I mean, you're contradicting yourself. Yes, you did say you could make that decision if determined a crime not be committed. We would have said so, but yet you said no crime was committed or chargeable on the collusion side. That means if the president is involved and part of the American people, and the collusion was you were conducting 3 different investigations. Number 1, counterintelligence. What did the Russians do? Secondly, and you said so yourself, did the president or anybody in the administration collude with Russia? Thirdly, did the president commit obstruction of justice? Well, my video I posted yesterday goes over the whole obstruction of justice thing, and another one that I did about Barr's take on his press conference, or my take on Barr's press conference, and why I thought he was right, and Alan Dershowitz and a lot of other people say, no, that's not obstruction of justice. Go back and visit that. I'm not going to visit that again. So the two lies are those. The third lie is Mueller said, Barr said originally that he had asked Mueller, does the office of whatever it is, the OFS, which is basically the Office of Credibility, or whatever they call it, ruling that you can't charge a sitting president. He asked 3 times, is that the reason you declined to make a final decision on obstruction of justice? Barr said he asked that 3 times, and the answer he got back from Mueller 3 times was, no, that wasn't the reason. Mueller kind of alluded to in his press conference that was the only reason he didn't make that decision. So now we're going to have the credibility of Mueller versus Barr. And of course, the liberal, well, Barr's just wingman for the president, just like Holder was for Obama, because, well, Holder admitted he was Obama's wingman. But no, the problem is there were multiple people in that room. Now, Barr's credibility before he was president, Trump's like everything else, has to do with Trump. Liberals question everything, whether it's good or bad or whatever, that doesn't give them the answer they want. Barr's never been questioned about his integrity before. So I'm going to say, if Barr said that, and now Mueller's coming out after the fact, and it's not really adding up, Mueller thought better about it, and now he wants to change his mind a little bit. And I'm going to give Mueller some benefit of a doubt over his credibility. I'm not going to go out and just outright call the man a liar. But there were other people, I think 3 or 4 other people minimum in that room, witness, question, and answer. And Barr's going to come out and say, wait a minute, he kind of alluded to this in the press conference, but we asked him specifically, and that will be asked. We asked him specifically if that was the reason. He said no. Now I'm going to start believing Barr a little bit, because there were 3 other people in the room. Now, if other people come out and say, I was in that room, that question was asked, Mueller said no, then now we're going to question Mueller's motive and why he was saying what he's saying in the press conference. He doesn't like Trump. He's not making a decision himself. He don't want to say, I'm trying to end Trump's presidency, but he wanted the House to take it up. He was trying, this was political. Prosecutors don't exonerate people. They either charge or they don't charge. For him to come out and say that shows this is political to start with. At what point, besides Comey with Clinton, but he was trying to pull some crap there, but at what point has any prosecutor ever come out and said, we're going to exonerate somebody? That's not the way our process, that's not where our law works, that's not the way any free society works. So that was some bull crap to start with. And it just shows this is a political report, and this was a political investigation. It was treated as such. But when Barr comes out, or I should say when any witnesses, when Barr comes out and says it, it's going to be, okay, maybe 2 different takes on something. When other witnesses come out, now I'm going to have questions about Mueller's intentions. And quite frankly, if you get 2 or 3 people saying, no, he was asked that question 3 times, now he's saying this, I'm going to call politics on the whole report, not a Department of Justice investigation or anything that's legitimately treated like we treat our justice system. At that point, it's political. So the 2 lies about how he presented, I can't make a decision. Well, now you did make a decision. You made a decision about one thing. You say, no, I'm not going to make a decision about the other. Bullcrap. Secondly, it's understood he's innocent. You don't have to make a decision on that. Saying it you didn't make a decision on that, you did make a decision on that. If you didn't charge him, then you did make a decision on that. He's innocent until proven guilty. You don't have to say it. So 2 lies. The third one I'm not going to call a lie yet. I am giving the benefit of doubt to Mueller on his credibility. Nothing's ever called into question his credibility that I've seen, except, I know there are a few things about when he was actually head of the FBI, but I haven't seen proof of that yet. Both sides are going to claim junk. But if it does come out and Barr says this, now we got some questions of how things were taken. And then if other people come out and say, no, emphatically, he was asked a question, he said no, now I'm calling into question his motives, or then I would. At that point, I will be calling into question his motives, and everybody should, and it will pretty much discredit, and that'll knock the impeachment question down from the House, because they can't follow Mueller reporting at that point anyway. I mean, it's basically discredited as just purely political.